Have you ever wondered, what if the drummers could just play drums 5,000 beats per minute? Today, we're visiting DBS Pro Studio, where we see a bridging technology between acoustic and electronic music, and we discover what the limits are in mixing acoustic with electronic.
This space is a little less kind of formal than a normal studio, and full of all sorts of gadgets and toys depending on what we're doing. For example, our robot drummer. To me, it's a bridging technology between acoustic music and electronic music, essentially kind of augmented acoustic music. So taking an acoustic instrument and making it do things that it shouldn't normally do or can't do in the real world. Now, when you're sat at the computer, you're very much in charge of the process. And something like this just brings in an element of kind of chance, randomness, but then also
surprise.
Yeah, surprise, yeah. And you want to feel surprised and you want to feel engaged in the stuff that you make. And you can see in there's essentially a hammer, a wooden hammer, like you would a beater, like a drumstick. So just like a normal drumstick in there. And this thing fires out, super strong, super fast. Let me set this one off firing and I'll just show you. Here we go. So you can see it firing out. It doesn't look like much, but when you hold it on we like that sound, or we could move it around to get different tones. And then how this is controlled is this guy here turns a control signal. It could be MIDI, it could be control voltages from a synth, and that turns that into a voltage that fires the little solenoid that's in here. And a solenoid is essentially, it's a piece of metal suspended in a magnet. When it receives a charge, it fires out. It's the same technology that opens your car door of when you use your keys and you press the button and it opens. And then this is just connected to my laptop over here. And I'm just running Ableton Live. And I've just programmed in a very simple rhythm here, which is these beats here, which the computer's playing. Now, it can do velocity, and you hear the difference in the tonality of the drum as it's played at different velocities. Such a simple thing, but within electronic music, that's something that's quite complex to express, and takes lots of programming and intricate details. But it's just happening in the real world for us now. And that's it's kind of boring use. And let me show you how fast it can go. So if I just program in sort of insanely fast. And now, it's becoming a machine now.
That's cool.
It's very cool. And then it's layering in. This electronic layer. And then all of a sudden, what we're doing is merging the two sound worlds, the acoustic and the electronic. And they're interconnected and they're becoming one. And that, to me, is that exciting area between what is acoustic, what is electric, what are the limits of those things, and that tension between the two is a super exciting, ground to play with. And it doesn't take much, put some kind of drones in. And then you kind of got your own band all of a sudden, Easy to just figure out what's going on and sudden, we're just making stuff up on the fly, and the computer's involved, and you're involved, and it's messy and it's fun, and that's, like we were saying, it's super exciting. It's that bridging, that sense of bridging the difference between electronic and acoustic, and enjoying the errors in that. When you make art and music, you have an idea in your head, and then when you go to make it, often becomes something different. And that, if you embrace that, that's really exciting. These kind of technologies allowed you to play with these accidents and and what you might stumble across, who knows where that might lead you.
Did you know that all this gear is tracked with the equipment management software Checkroom? DBS Institute is using Checkroom to book out the equipment that students need for their recording sessions. It helps them have a full overview of all their gear, such as microphones, and make sure the gear stays in top-notch condition.